It's Alexis here at Daxfit Studios in Angel in Islington, and what I've got here is a question for one of my clients, Nikki, and she asks, what are some good tips for being more disciplined at the weekend? Okay, so during the week, Nikki feels that she's quite disciplined, she stays on top of her health regime, she can manage to fit her exercise in, she eats quite well, she plans her meals. She feels that she loses it at the weekend though, where everything goes out the window and she loses control of what she's doing. Okay, so the reason we're looking at this as well is because a lot of the time our week is planned for us, so we kind of know what time we're turning up to work, we know how we're getting there, we know what time we have to leave the house to get there, we know what time we leave, work, we know what time we're going to be able to have lunch. So it's a lot easier to plan it around there. The weekend is kind of all up in the air when we kind of look at it that way. We don't really know when we're supposed to be eating, when we're supposed to be leaving, and all those sort of things are a little bit all over the place. So here's a few things that I would just suggest you can do to make it a little bit easier. So the first one that I have is plan your day ahead. Your weekdays are planned ahead for you, and you just don't realise it because you turn up for work. You have everything set in place. You feel, right, I've got my things in place, I know what I'm going to do for work, so that's my day ahead. So your weekend, people generally don't force themselves to plan it because they don't feel the need to. Well, if you force yourself to plan a weekend on how you can be healthier, or how many, if you want to up your exercise routines or the amount of time you're doing exercise, then plan that ahead. So write those little things down, possibly the night before or a couple of days in advance, and just say, these are the things I want to do over my weekend period. Okay, there's another thing as well I wanted to mention, which was running errands and doing chores. Okay, cut those out completely. Your weekends, if you spend your weekends doing all the things you don't want to do, so running errands, doing chores, washing dishes, hoovering, cleaning up, then you don't actually fit in any time for doing things that you want to enjoy doing. Okay, what you can do is put those errands and chores, put a small amount of time, so 20 minutes to half an hour each evening of doing those things. So at the weekend, you don't spend your whole weekend doing all of those. Okay, another one was catching up on work. Okay, the week's done. Finish your work Monday to Friday. Finish it there. Say right, at this time from this time on Saturday I won't do any work. On Sunday I won't do any work, or I won't try and squeeze it in. Okay, so when you leave work, finish it there. As soon as you start remembering that you've got to do work, then all your timing starts slipping out of place. Overeating. Okay, so let's not forget that we're sat at home, and because we haven't planned anything now and you haven't thinking what you're doing, you start just going into the kitchen, and I'm a nightmare for it. You just go into the kitchen and you start picking up foods in the cupboards just because you haven't thought of what you're going to do for the day. All right, so let's try and plan your meals. So think when you're going to eat. Plan those sort of times, just as you would your daily, just as you would at work. Plan what you're going to have throughout the day during your weekend. Okay, another one, which is quite a big one actually, that I find that will affect people, is oversleeping. And in the sort of culture, the Western culture we have, is that Saturdays and Sundays are for just resting it off. Like, oh, I've been getting up early all week. Saturday, Sunday, I'm just going to lie in. Okay, by doing that, you actually set off your sleeping cycle. So you set your period off. You're most productive in the morning from about 6 till 9 a.m. is when you can get your most productivity. Now, if we're sleeping in till 9 or 10 a.m. or even further than that, then we're using those hours to sleep. Okay, so it makes no sense that we're trying to get all this stuff done, yet in our most unproductive hours of the day. So let's try not to sleep in. Get up a little bit earlier. You don't have to get up at 6, but lie in 7, 8 o'clock, be up sort of early-ish so that you can start getting your things done for the day. Okay, another one is unplug. So unplug from the internet. Try not to use your phone for just searching around. Try not to sit on your laptop all weekend or your computers, and just try and get away from the whole internet if you can. If you connect to the internet, you kind of disconnect from the fact that it's your weekend and you can do what you want with it. All right, so try and disconnect completely. Sunday stressing as well, I wrote down this one. And Sunday stressing is kind of found, you kind of get it towards the end of your Sunday, and you start worrying about what's going to happen on the Monday and what you've got to do for work. Okay, you've still got those hours left of your day to spend in your weekend. Worry about work when you get to work the following day. All right, don't spend your whole Sunday, or even half of your Sunday, or even like 4 hours, 3 hours of your Sunday stressing about the following day. Okay, try and plan that in your week time, and you'll keep it separate. Okay, so hopefully those things will be useful to you, and you can put them and implement them to into your weekends. Okay, so that's Alexis, and it's a little bit longer than I thought, but I'll speak to you soon. Okay, take care.